Hey there, fellow gardeners. If you've been following the Soil House for a while, you know I'm always on the hunt for gardening wisdom that actually works. And let me tell you, when it comes to consistent, jaw-dropping harvests, the Amish have been quietly perfecting their methods for generations, while the rest of us have been chasing the latest trends. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the time-tested strategies that keep Amish gardens thriving year after year, and I promise you, these aren't your typical gardening tips. Here's something that stopped me in my tracks when I first learned about Amish gardening. They don't just feed their plants, they feed their soil like it's a living member of the family. And honestly, that's exactly what it is. While many of us are reaching for quick-fix fertilizers, Amish gardeners are playing the long game, and it shows in every harvest. The secret starts with their composting methods. Amish families create what I call black gold mines right on their property. They're composting everything from kitchen scraps to livestock manure. But here's the kicker. They're doing it in layers, almost like building a lasagna. They alternate green materials like grass clippings and vegetable scraps with brown materials like straw and dried leaves. But they take it further by adding thin layers of garden soil between each layer, which introduces beneficial microorganisms that supercharge the decomposition process. What really sets their approach apart is patience. These composts aren't turned weekly like we often hear we should do. Instead, they're turned just a few times over several months, allowing the pile to heat up naturally and break down completely. The result? A rich, crumbly compost that transforms even the poorest soil into a plant paradise. I've started using this method in my own garden, and the difference in just one season was remarkable. Now let's talk about companion planting, because the Amish have turned this into an art form. You've probably heard about planting marigolds with tomatoes, but Amish gardeners take this concept to a whole new level. They're creating entire ecosystems within their garden beds. And it's brilliant. One strategy that blew my mind is what they call the Three Sisters approach, borrowed from Native American traditions but refined over generations. Corn, beans, and squash aren't just planted together randomly. The corn provides a natural trellis for the beans fix nitrogen in the soil that feeds the heavy-feeding corn, and the squash leaves create a living mulch that suppresses weeds and retains moisture. It's symbiosis at its finest. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Amish gardeners plant strong-smelling herbs like dill, cilantro, and parsley throughout their vegetable beds, not just in separate herb gardens. These aromatic plants confuse pests and attract beneficial insects that keep harmful bug populations in check. I've watched cabbage moths fly right past brassicas when they're interplanted with dill, and it's like watching nature's security system in action. If there's one strategy that separates abundant gardens from mediocre ones, it's succession planting, and the Amish have mastered it like nobody's business. Instead of planting all their lettuce seeds in one go and then wondering why they have a feast or famine situation, they're planting small amounts every 2 weeks throughout the growing season. What makes their approach different is the intentionality behind it. They're not just thinking about continuous harvests, they're thinking about soil health and pest management too. By constantly rotating what's growing where, they're naturally breaking pest cycles and preventing soil depletion. When the early spring peas are finished, they're immediately following up with heat-loving beans in the same space. When summer squash production slows down in late summer, they're tucking in quick-growing greens that will thrive in the cooler fall temperatures. Here's something that goes against everything we think we know. Amish gardeners don't water nearly as much as most modern gardeners, yet their plants are healthier and more productive. How? They've figured out that deep, infrequent watering creates stronger root systems than frequent shallow watering. When they do water, it's typically done early in the morning, and they water at the base of plants rather than overhead. This reduces disease problems and ensures water goes where it's needed most. But the real secret is in their mulching strategy. Thick layers of straw, grass clippings, or shredded leaves cover the soil around plants, keeping moisture in and weeds out. This mulch layer is typically 3 to 4 inches deep, and it's refreshed throughout the growing season. I've adopted this approach in my own garden, and my water bill thanks me while my plants thrive. The key is understanding that plants should be encouraged to send roots deep into the soil rather than keeping them dependent on surface moisture. It creates resilience that pays off, especially during dry spells. Perhaps the most powerful Amish gardening strategy is seed saving. This isn't just about frugality, it's about creating varieties that are perfectly adapted to your specific growing conditions. Amish gardeners have been saving seeds from their best-performing plants for generations, essentially creating custom varieties that thrive in their particular climate and soil. The process is simple, but requires attention. They're selecting seeds from the healthiest, most productive plants that show disease resistance and good flavor. These seeds carry forward the traits that made those plants successful, and over time, you're essentially breeding your own superior varieties. What's fascinating is that this practice creates a form of plant intelligence. Seeds saved from plants that survived a particularly dry year will produce offspring better equipped to handle drought. Seeds from plants that thrive despite pest pressure will create more resistant varieties. It's evolution happening right in your backyard, and the results compound year after year. There's one more element that ties all these strategies together, and it's something we often overlook in our modern approach to gardening community. Amish gardeners regularly share seeds, swap tips, and help each other with labor-intensive tasks like building raised beds or moving compost. This collective knowledge and mutual support creates a safety net that individual gardeners can't replicate alone. While we might not live in tight-knit farming communities, we can still embrace this principle. Join local garden clubs, participate in seed swaps, and don't be shy about asking experienced gardeners questions. The wisdom I've gained from connecting with other gardeners has been just as valuable as any book or video. The beautiful thing about these Amish gardening strategies is that they're not dependent on expensive inputs or complicated techniques. They're based on observation, patience, and working with nature, rather than against it. Start with one or two of these methods this season, and I guarantee you'll see improvements in both your harvest and your soil health. Remember, gardening isn't a destination, it's a journey of constant learning and adaptation. If you found these strategies helpful, make sure to subscribe to the Soil House for more practical gardening wisdom that actually works. And please share this with your fellow gardeners, because the more we share knowledge, the more abundant all our gardens become. Now get out there and get growing!